Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr. Holland's Classroom, where today we are about to dive into chapter 11 of my math. So, we're getting into two-dimensional shapes. Now, for shapes, we kind of already have an idea of what shapes are, but when we say two-dimensional, that's kind of important. So if we take anything away from this chapter, is that the shapes that we're going to learn about are two-dimensional, also known as flat shapes. There shapes that if you drew it on a piece of paper and you cut them out, that is the shape. Now, the next chapter talks about three-dimensional, and it gets a little bit bigger than that. But before we even go there, we really need to understand about flat shapes, two-dimensional shapes, what we're going to call them. So you should be on page 613. It's on the volume 2 of your math book. So it's the second math book you have. So on page 613, that's what you're going to need. And you're going to need some of the same materials like pencils, crayons, that kind of stuff. But before we even go into our lessons, we should talk about, do we really know what we're talking about? Or do we know what we need to know as we go into this? So am I ready? Let's see. So for 1 and 2 here, it says circle the objects that are the same shape. Okay, so you don't need to know what the names are. You just need to know if what's alike, what's different. We've learned that before. So let's use those skills that we have. Okay, so let's see. We have this blue one that's round. This one has 1, 2, 3 sides. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's round. Okay, so we have a round one and a round one. Look at that. We got them. Okay, let's try it with the buttons. Okay, number 2. Let's see, round one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look, 3 sides, 3 sides. Good. Okay. We're getting the hang of this. That look, I remember, not the same color, same shape. We know how to do that. We learned how to do that in chapter 9. We were talking about doing things that are like sorting by shape, sorting by size, color, all that stuff. We knew that. So for number 3, let's see, number 3 and 4, it says look at the shapes and find the shapes in the row that are the same and color them blue. Okay, so I need to get blue. Go. Okay, so there's a couple of shapes on here, but I know that this one and this one are the same. This one is the same too, and the other ones are different. Okay, so we got the ones that are alike. Okay, circle. There's no other circles on there this time. There's these ones kind of stuck out in my mind. So there's triangle here, triangle here, triangle here. Good. Okay. Good. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see what's on the next page. Okay. Oh, I gotta erase those. Okay, so on this page, we're talking about vocabulary review. Review vocabulary. Okay, so at the bottom it says trace the words and use the words to describe the shapes in each box. Okay, so the first one, this says length. And I know my marker's not as perfect as yours because mine's on the computer. But if you have a pencil or a crayon, you can trace these. So the first one is length, and this one is size. Got a sneaky E in there. So it's length and size. So we're looking at the length and size of these objects. Okay, so I would say that over here on the, let's do a little focus. Hey, okay, there we go. So with these crayons, the green crayon is longer than the yellow crayon, and the pencil over here is longer than the other pencil, or we could say it's bigger than the other pencil. And I would say for like this blue triangle is bigger than the red triangle. This yellow square is bigger than the pink square. So good. We have those. If we know those skills, then we should be able to accomplish some of the things we need to accomplish in this chapter. So some of our vocabulary cards. So you can cut these out if you have scissors around at home. You can cut them out. So we have circle, hexagon. That one's going to be tricky. Hexagon. Always going to be tricky. pay attention to that one. When we get to it, I believe it's lesson 4. Please check that out. Hexagon, it's tricky, but there's an easy way to remember it. Rectangle, we've seen before. Round describes a circle. Side, like the flat edges of the shape. Straight, that's going to be important for shapes. Okay, so now we have square, and I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, look, no, that's actually a diamond. Well, no, it's actually a square. We'll talk about that shape and why this is not a diamond. There's also triangle here. Vertex is the pointy side of a shape. So these are all important things that we're going to need to know. So keep them handy, keep them nearby. All right, and then you can use this as a foldable, talking about using these shapes and practicing some numbers on there, talking about how many shapes are over here, count them, and then write the number at the bottom, that kind of thing. So, we're already at lesson 1. I'm not going to go into it right now. As for the next lesson, but I hope you guys are remembering and recalling the skills we've learned before, because we are going to use those to help us amplify our experience here and become masters of two-dimensional shapes. But until next time, I will see you later. Bye, everyone.